All right, welcome
Hey.
to Menu Heroes
I forgot where the camera was.
Digest.
All right.
And today we're digesting some Starbucks.
Oh, yes. Guys.
Sponsored. No, just kidding. Not
Should we tell them the story about what happened when I gave Xander his cup?
All right, so we all know how Starbucks can't spell names.
Mm-hmm.
This is wrong. My name is Stephen. And Xander...
And my name is not H. Mokajori, okay? This is slander, and I will not stand for it.
Xander, poor Xander. They spelled his name Zander, and he was so mad about it. He hasn't had his pill today, so we're not recording.
That's why I'm not mad at him, but he just went off on me specifically.
I know. I don't think it was actually at. I don't think he meant to aim it at you. He's just.
You don't see Xander without his pills. All right. You might think he's a little frantic in regular Menu Heroes standard.
Keeping in mind that he has ADHD and he is autistic.
Yeah.
And the third fact that he's a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I didn't give him his pill today. That's why we're not recording Super Mario 3D World today.
I was at least 2 of those when I was his age.
Autistic and ADHD.
You know what? I'm gonna let that slide because I'm sure. Of course, younger me would have absolutely gone off on you for that, but whatever.
It's
but
not
yes,
like it's bad having autism anyway.
no. I'm just saying.
But I know what you mean. Yeah.
So yes, unfortunately, it's just gonna be digest, and whenever you or Xander are gonna do something.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do Astro's Playroom and Paper Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He said he wants to keep doing Paper Mario. I tried to come up with voices. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about game show.
Yes, we have
3 different things we have to cover this week. The Nintendo Digest, the PlayStation State of Play, and then the Tokyo Game Show.
Mm-hmm. So,
join us as we delve into what has happened this past week.
It's a lot.
Let's get this show started. Let's get it started in here with Tokyo Game Show. Now, if you're unfamiliar, excuse me.
Yeah.
Tokyo Game Show 2022 is running from the 15th to the 18th of September. It's currently the 17th. Tomorrow's the 18th. The video gets released on the 18th. Give me just one moment.
Give me a popsicle yellow, babe.
We don't have any popsicles.
I mean, dum-dums.
You are a dum-dum. I'll get you a Tootsie Pop roll after the show.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Tomorrow's the 18th, or I guess today is the 18th when you're watching this.
Yeah.
Because we released it on Sundays. Anyway.
Yeah.
Tokyo Game Show. There are a ton of publishers and game companies announcing their AAA titles.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! So we'll just run through the gamut. Let's start with Xbox.
Yes. Should I go ahead and say it?
Go ahead and say it.
There was nothing really that exciting for Xbox. I mean, no, I can only speak as someone who's only played Xbox games through other family members who've had Xbox. I have either been loyal to Sega, Sony, and or Nintendo. I will fully come out and say that. But even then, I felt like there were still more interesting things that were out in the last Xbox game show that came out what was it, the last E3? Not E3,
a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And I thought there was some interesting things that came out from that. Like our first look at Wulong, Fallen Kingdom. Or the Fallen Empire. Anyway, it was one of 2 Team Ninja games coming out. It does look really good, but even then, it's I think that one's Xbox exclusive.
Now let's keep in mind that companies like Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation have foregone making huge announcements at these other shows in lieu of making their own little shows, like the PlayStation State of Play and Nintendo's Directs. I believe Xbox does similar showcases. In fact, I think they made a couple announcements at QuakeCon, whenever that was.
Oh.
Because, they own Bethesda now.
Yes, of course. Well, obviously they announced Starfield.
Yeah.
Yes, and
But, the biggest news coming out of Xbox, at least at this moment, is a bunch of games and updates coming to its Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, these games include Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Danganronpa.
Version 3, thank you. I did not remember
Like, I'm a big Danganronpa fan, so I know how to say the name. And we'll talk about a little more of that later, but...
yeah, we will.
I'll mention it later. I'll tell you more. Okay, so.
Despot's game, Metal Hellsinger.
That does look pretty good.
Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, remastered.
Mm-hmm.
That's only on console.
Yeah.
The Outer Wilds, Wolong Final Dynasty.
Wulong.
Right. My bad. I apologize. Deathloop, console only, and The Outer Wilds is also console only.
Yeah.
I did hear about Deathloop coming to Xbox. That was a notification I got.
Well, yeah, but it's like, and that's a game I've always been wanting to give a try. But the thing is, like, most of these games you're hearing about have been available for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, there hasn't been really anything that's like, this is primarily Xbox, except for I think Wulong, because I'm not hearing anything about Wulong in any other consoles or any other companies.
Speaking of PlayStation, the PS Plus Extra is completely worth it because you get like a ton of games that you can download and play for free.
Nice.
Anyway, Persona. Well, I say for free, but it's $100 a year. But with a game being like $60-$70, that's less than 2 games. Persona 5: The Royal, Beacon Pines, Slime Rancher 2 Early Access, Grounded 1.0, Moonscars, and Valheim, which is going to be PC only.
Yeah. I would like for you or Xander to try one of the Persona games.
I actually bought Persona 5 on the PlayStation.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to playing it. I loved MST.
Shin Megami Tensei?
SMT, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, letters. And then there's Metal Gear Solid, and then there's all these acronyms that have similar letters, so it gets mixed up in my head. But yes, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Yeah. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's talk about Jordan's favorite part.
Capcom.
So, Mega Man 12 was not announced. Mega Man Legends 3 also was not announced. Did you know that was originally going to be a 3DS game?
I'm well aware of the history of development of Mega Man Legends 3 and how everything went horribly wrong, Stephen. Yes, okay. I am aware.
So, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Title Update 2 is being released on the 29th. It features added monsters, acquirable weapon layers, and a lot of paid DLCs, including cosmetics, emotes, and more.
Speaking of somebody who's only played a little bit of Monster Hunter Rise, I'd say the monsters we've seen so far look pretty interesting. Again, I can't tell you what games they're from or what all their abilities are, but yeah, the designs for the monsters look good in this Monster Hunter game. Yeah.
Well, since it's a game where you're hunting monsters, you better hope they're good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, Resident Evil, one of my favorite series.
That's a good series. Really.
So, let's see.
And the perfect franchise to play this upcoming month, because, well, October. Yeah.
So, Resident Evil Village Gold Edition is launching on October 28th. And there's the Winter's Expansion DLC, which has 3 massive features. Shadow of the Rose, which is a new story, exploring Ethan's daughter. Yeah. Mercenaries Additional Orders, which is a mode featuring new content and characters. And there is a third-person mode being added as well, which is neat, considering the original is first-person only.
Did they reveal in either 7 or 8 that Ethan's daughter has ice powers?
I don't remember. They
show in the trailer she clearly has some ice powers.
I've only played some of 7.
Yeah, I'm behind in terms of the Resident Evil. Obviously, I do. Obviously, I love the first 4. 5, I think, is good, but that was definitely leaning more towards action than horror, and that obviously had divided some of the fans and everything.
6 was just a rehash.
Yeah. 6. Well, we don't have all day to talk about that.
7 was a return to form.
Oh yeah. 7. As I said, I hope to fully finish that one day. But,
and I don't think Revelations is that bad, but we'll continue. So, Exo Primal.
Yes, the non-Dino Crisis game.
Yes, Dino Crisis Light, if you will. Yeah. It's a third-person shooter game that, will you guess what it has? Dinosaurs.
Oh,
God. Okay, copyright strike.
I know. There's always some.
No, I'm just kidding.
I love song. I have a song in my heart, Steven. I'm sorry.
Song in your heart.
Yes.
Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which had been previously revealed.
Yes.
They just, they touched on it a little more.
Well, there's also the added thing of they do have a 3D model of the Mega Man from that franchise in the opening menu.
Oh, that's
cool.
cool.
And actually, they did get the same voice actor, at least the English voice actor for that Mega Man, and he'll be greeting you hello, here's our options for this menu. And
I didn't realize there was voice acting in the original on the Game Boy.
There was some. I definitely Well, there was definitely a Mega Man. There was definitely a Mega Man anime, the anime.
Oh,
I think I'm sure that same voice actor is doing Mega Man again.
That's cool.
But yes,
you don't see that a lot, where they cross over from the TV to the game with the voice actors.
I mean, but
it makes sense too. But
then Jason.
Although, could you imagine a Resident Evil series with the voice actors from the original? No. Hey, it would match the quality of the series, wouldn't it?
I don't want to even imagine.
Anyway,
I was gonna say something Jason Isaac, who did Sonic for a while. I'm sure he did a few other things here and there outside of the anime or the local the English.
Sonic X.
Yeah.
More like Sonic. No.
I thought the show was fine.
I've heard the Japanese version is a lot better.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
Because they cut a lot from the Americanized.
Yes.
Anyway,
so,
we don't have all day.
Yeah, okay, so we...
Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is coming to the Switch, which we already knew. We've already covered that. PlayStation 4 and the PC in 2023.
And on my Switch...
there will be that game.
Yes, I will... it's a definite buy for me, obviously. But speaking of other potential buys,
we've got Yu-Gi-Oh! No, I'm just kidding. That would be mean.
What?
Street Fighter 6.
Okay, all right. Now this one, they released a ton of info over the last couple Days.
They'll probably still announce some more.
Oh yeah, oh man,
I mean tomorrow.
I do.
They might.
Well, man, I do. I follow. I subscribe to a couple fighting game channels and everything. They've been eating good this weekend and having a lot to talk about because there also was a little certain demo places in the UK that opened up and let them have a private testing of the game as well, and has a lot of positive to say about it. But yes, 4 characters have been confirmed. Now, granted, if you found any of the leaks, the artwork leaks, you might already know these 4 characters. Plus, they are characters that have been around in previous Street Fighter games. But it is always nice to see, a trailer that showcases, 4 classic Street Fighter characters. Namely, of course, Ken, the one everyone's been worried about, because... they also revealed a bit of his backstory, at least on one of the websites. Ken, Blanca, one of my personal favorites, Dalsum, and E Honda. I can't believe I almost forgot. Sorry. But their designs look great. They are true to form, and even Blanca has a fun little Blanca Chan dolls that he utilizes his fighting. I don't know if you've seen any images of the Blanca Chan dolls, but they're just derpy looking Blanca toys.
Blanca Chan, you said?
Yeah, Blanca Chan. Yeah. And they're actually in the game, and I don't think they're full on projectiles, but like in the trailer, they do utilize him throwing like rolling them on the ground, and they're basically little grenades, pretty much, and they can shock the enemies. Yeah, but it's like Blanca is a character I guess because like he is very much like a monster man, a green monster man. I've always kind of gravitated towards him.
You relate because you're a green monster man too.
Oh, thank you so much, Steve. That means H. Mocha Jordan. Coming to Street Fighter 7.
6. Oh wait.
I was trying to say I was previewing the next game.
I got it.
It's okay. So
I gotta say I still like the Street Fighter 6 logo.
That definitely an improvement over the first one we saw, because as we were all saying, like you were definitely pointing out when we first saw it,
It's a stock.
it was a stock image, and everybody thought, "Oh no, are they putting NFTs in the Street Fighter game? Please no." No, but thankfully, what they are putting in this game is a create a character mode, and they actually did display how much you can do. You can actually, alter the body type and the muscle mass for your own created character, and there'll be like in-game cutscenes that utilize, your created character. Now, granted, some games are doing that. As much as people rag on Sonic Forces, they did do that, where you created your own character and they were part of certain cutscenes and everything. But I always thought that feature. I appreciate when a game can do that feature, and it's when you can create a character and do your own thing. Even like I don't think they flat out say it, but like it's seeming like the main roster characters, your created character will go on in the main story mode, can go around the city, meeting them, and you'll train under them or be their student, and you can learn some abilities, because in the trailer they showed certain like created characters like doing some abilities, like Chun-Li's spinning bird kick or Blanca's electric ability and everything, and certain parts of it and like also there's like certain added bonuses to matches, or you can add extra rules to matches, like a running bull thing, where not only have you got to fight your opponent, but also got to watch out for the bull that's heading towards you. And yes, as a Mega Man fan, I also want to mention they have like the little worker bots that'll pop up in certain. You can add that feature to one of your matches of having the little worker bots in that, and they'll do certain features or like explode or do stuff like that. So I think this Street Fighter 6 is. I think Capcom is learning its lesson from Street Fighter 5, where on launch date that game was so bare bone, like maybe 15 characters, and you really only can do like single player or online matches, and there wasn't really a story, though when you did get to a story it wasn't that great. Yeah. And I think for this one they're really focusing on they are having a story mode, and they're letting you create your own character. And also, they've at least confirmed 18 characters on launch, and there will definitely be DLCs. There'll definitely be bonus characters, which I don't personally mind, because I'd rather they have a game and then they'll later add DLC characters, or at least have you either add them for free or you gotta buy them for later. Other than back in the 90s when Capcom would say, "Here's a new edition of Street Fighter." It's not that different, but it has a couple new characters now. So I think we are in a better time. Or I think like the option of new game, but they will add in new features later, or you'll be given the options to only pay us, but maybe like $15-10 for added bonus features.
Paying significantly less than you would for.
Oh yeah. Like, Capcom in the 90s really kind of like did us dirty. Us 90s kids dirty.
There also wasn't a really good way to do DLC back then.
True.
So the internet was still in its infancy when it came to the masses.
I still have nightmares about the AOL dial-up sound. Yeah, there was no way they'd be able to do that for a Street Fighter game or any game.
I mean, they did. There were experiments with games like that, downloading games. Like there was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was like the Dreamcast the first time to do like online play, at least for console games?
The first one to have it built in.
Okay, yeah. Like obviously, there were PC games back in the day, obviously, but like
There were attempts to make so you could play Atari games online, and it worked if the game was slow enough for that to be feasible. It would do it through the phone line. I think it was called
the phone line.
X-Link or something.
Oh, the phone line.
No, I don't know.
I'm not saying things are great today or there aren't any problems nowadays, but some of you kids out there, you have no idea, like, how slow things were. I mean, real slow back in the day.
Glad I didn't say that name out loud. 'Cause that's not what I thought it was.
Okay.
Atari Online. I don't remember what it's called. I read it at one point.
No.
But yeah, attempts were made back in the day. They just weren't very good. Anyway, let's talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Woo!
Yeah.
So Konami's presence at the game show mostly consisted of 4 Yu-Gi-Oh! Games being revealed. Okay. This includes Cross Duel, Duel Link, Master Duel, and Rush Duel, Dawn of the Battle Royale. Let's go! Go Rush! I just like the actual name. So, Cross Duel and Duel Links are already available on mobile, iOS and Android. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel, Dawn of the Battle Royale, let's go! Go Rush! Is on the Switch. Master Duel is available on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, and mobile, iOS and Android. There's also Sudoku? Sudoku?
Honestly, I thought it said Sudoku, and I'm like,
Suikoden.
Konami, are you?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's hard because you want to say do instead of ko. I think it's Suikoden. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, they are RPGs that are being released. The first and second one remastered in 2023.
Yeah.
It will be on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC.
Yeah. Again, if nothing else, it's at least good that they would re-release old games. There are certainly some old games I'd love for them to re-release and do a proper remaster. But obviously, they have a history of doing badly. Yeah. If nothing else, at the very least, the TMNT re-releases have been great.
Alright, so Sega had a bit of a presence with their pole dancers and chili dogs. This was real. They had those. Not kidding.
I'm sorry. I was more focused on the Capcom and all the Street Fighter stuff. I didn't get a chance to see the Sega part.
I didn't watch it, but I got a notification about it.
Yeah.
So Sonic Frontiers is coming in November, the 8th of November. PS5 for Xbox consoles, Switch, and PC. It looks pretty good. I've got a couple friends on Facebook who say it's the devil and it's gonna be awful. I'm like, okay, sure. You also want to die every day, so I love you.
Well, Sega.
And Sega has burned you in the past.
Yes, it's like I did talk nice about Sonic Force's character creation. I thought that was a great feature. There was a lot of other problems with Sonic Forces though. So yeah, I can understand there being burnt out. Honestly, as a Sega fan, I should have been burnt out by anything Sega related at this point, but I at least hold on to some kind of hope, or at the very least, they've been this is the one they're really promoting this one.
They're like, you still gotta buy us.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So 505 Games.
This one I didn't see anything about.
Hold on, drinking that drink took a lot out of me.
Yeah, he got a vanilla bean frappuccino and mixed in Pepsi Zero into it.
Okay, you know what? It's not that bad. Okay.
I'm just saying.
But I'm out of the cold stuff, and now it's just a hot Pepsi. So. All right. So there's a lot of games coming to gamers from 505 Games, especially to Game Pass. Woo! Gunfire Reborn, which is a roguelike with endless enemies, randomized levels, heroes, and solo and co-op action, which is like roguelike is literally randomized dungeons, so
Yeah.
let's see. Serial Killers, consoles and PC, Legend, Xbox.
That's nice.
Assetto Corsa competitions.
Yes.
Xbox and PlayStation 5. Gunfire Reborn, Xbox.
Now, okay,
Euden?
Euden Chronicles Rising and 100 Heroes. This one I did see. They did cover this briefly in the. Oh, actually not briefly. Like they did cover it in the Xbox show. That one also looks good. Again, if you like Octopath Traveler or Live Alive, it's very much like pixel characters and 3D backgrounds kind of thing. I think the franchise has been around a lot longer than that, but like they're making a big deal of like, oh, the original creators are coming back to this one, and overall looks fine, looks good. But as I said, nothing to really like say I gotta get an Xbox game thing right now for this. It's like looks fine.
Rogue Spirit Early Access, consoles and PC. Unholy, consoles and PC minus the Nintendo Switch. Unheard Voices of Crime. This can't be right.
Unheard Voices of Crime.
No, I mean I know how to read that. PS4, Xbox, and Switch, but it's got to be a typo on this site.
Probably, but also.
Well, there's no way it's coming to the 360.
Well, the thing is, sometimes you will have like the Just Dance series. They will release games on the Wii.
I think I don't know.
It's not entirely impossible.
It says PS4, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Switch.
They probably mean either Xbox One or
Xbox Series.
Yeah.
Stray Blade, consoles minus Switch and PC, and Miasma Chronicles, consoles minus Switch and PC.
Okay.
And then day 3 hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
It happens 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't join us for it because we won't be watching it at that time.
So maybe there'll be Metroid, maybe there'll be Castlevania, but I'm not holding on.
Castlevania is more likely than Metroid to show up here because Metroid's Nintendo.
Well, you have to remember Castlevania is a Konami franchise, so are you 100% sure of that?
That's true. Alright, so now we move on to the PlayStation State of Play.
Yes, and this was a shorter display than either Tokyo Game Show or Nintendo Direct, but
yeah, this was 20 minutes.
But most of the things they released here, I thought looked really good.
There's a Tekken 8,
yeah,
which is most likely going to be a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, and it's like here. Okay, here's the thing: Tekken has had a history with. I mean, it's first as an arcade thing, but also it has had a longer history of being PlayStation exclusive than, say, Street Fighter. Street Fighters have usually been available on a lot of different consoles or PC. I know, but like when they made Street Fighter V exclusive for PlayStation, that made a lot of fans angry. And there might be some Tekken fans that would want the game available on Xbox or PC, but again, it has a history rooted in PlayStation or Sony, so it makes sense. And obviously, Detroit itself is purely like Kazuya and his son Jin fighting. The fight looks great. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, the whole Devil Gene and the whole War of the Family kind of thing, I'm hoping they don't focus in on too much, but it's like every Tekken game either focuses on the Mishima or the Kasama family drama, and every other character is sort of just there. Although Nina Williams did get married in Tekken 7, so they at least set a plot line for her.
Alright. God of War Ragnarok. So that got a new trailer.
Yes.
It's going to be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they announced a limited edition DualSense controller that will be released alongside the game. Looking at this controller, it actually looks pretty go-away. Looks pretty sleek.
Looking at it more, like I do like the two wolves or two dogs.
It's very cute. It's like a father and son type.
Yeah. I think my first thought is I would have would have preferred maybe like the Omega symbol, the symbol of the game.
God of War symbol.
Yeah, but also the two wolves I'm looking at more looks great. I do have to say though, like they showed the console little mini trailer before they showed the actual official trailer, and you could feel the entire world saying, "You better not just be the last thing of it," because like they waited till the end of the state of play to show God of War stuff.
Oh really?
And they showed the console. I'm sorry, they showed the controller little mini trailer first, and everyone's like, "You better not end on just the controller. You, Sony, I swear, we will riot if this is all you're showing of God of War." Thankfully, they showed much more God of War footage and gameplay.
Now I do like the purple, but purple's my favorite color, so of course I like the purple.
Okay, it looked more like dark blue to me, but I guess I could count as more as indigo.
Yeah, it is pretty indigo. It's
Like-
still a nice color.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I think I played art classes, but even I'm confused of like, what is the difference between blue and indigo, or indigo and blue, or indigo and purple? Like,
Indigo is a little more blue than purple, but
yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
Alright.
Okay, but final thoughts on the God of War trailer. Everything looks freaking great, and yes, ending it off on Kratos versus Thor fight looks amazing. Like what little they showed looks epic.
Epic.
Yeah.
So let's talk about PlayStation VR 2, which they, announced some games for.
Yeah.
Let me scroll through here real quick. See if they're did they actually cover the PSVR 2 specifically?
Yeah, it just it put on the side of the screen said PSVR 2.
Okay, I didn't know if they had talked more about it.
It's okay.
It's not going to be compatible with PSVR 1 games. Yeah. But the way they designed it, it should be easier to port games to it.
Obviously the first one they showed was Star Wars Galaxy Edge VR.
Tales from the Galaxy
Okay,
Edge.
yes. Okay, sorry. Tales from Galaxy's Edge, yes. It looked fine. It looked not too... I mean, granted, I'm not a big VR guy, so, I'm not super impressed by either of these little VR 2 trailers. Although, the pirate guy from Clone Wars, I have a hard time remembering his name, but he's voiced by Jim Cummings. He does make an appearance in this trailer, so that did make me more excited,
Okay.
At least his character, I'm not sure where the Tales of Galaxy's Edge, where it is in the timeline, but it's a part of the timeline where he's alive. Cool. I want to see more of that pirate guy.
Demio is also a VR 2 game. It's a cooperative dungeon crawling survival game that is tabletop-esque with rolling dice and cards.
Yeah, for a second I thought it was like Dungeons and Dragons VR, and I thought, oh, that could work, getting group session and us doing a VR D&D campaign.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. As I said, but I guess Demio is its own different thing. But I guess of all these two, I'm more curious about that.
Yeah.
If you could really do a full-on tabletop campaign, but in VR.
Let's see. Yakuza's
Yakuza,
my bad. Ishin spin-off game getting a Western release.
Yeah, and I am fairly new to the Yakuza series. I am gonna either play one of the games or just watch the walkthroughs. But from what I gathered, Ishin was the Japanese exclusive title from back in 2013 or 2014. But it's basically the voice actors who were in the main Yakuza games basically are playing different characters back in Japan, ancient Japan. And the trailer looks great and does make me want to finally get into Yakuza.
I've been told I should play Yakuza, and since I have a PlayStation, a lot of those games are available on the PS Plus Extra.
Because if you don't count the Atlas games, Yakuza and Sonic are the only two Sega games that are really prominent. So,
And then there's a Harry Potter game.
Yeah.
There's a PS5 exclusive game, mission, whatever. We don't care.
Okay.
Sorry.
I will say one thing. Okay. Tell me two things. One, it is. I think the world of Harry Potter of Hogwarts is. I think it's big enough to where you could do a more suspenseful, scary story with it, and from what I see in the trailer, it does look legitimately scary.
Spooky.
However, and this is not just me. I have watched 4 different streams of this state of play. All of them the entire time was saying F J.K. Rowling when it got to this part. Because it's like, the world of Harry Potter is cool, but so long as she's attached to this kind of thing, nobody wants to touch it.
And the problem is, even if she's not directly involved, she still gets money.
Yeah.
Now, once she passes away, and like, I'm not saying do anything, okay? I'm not threatening.
Okay, we are not threatening. We do not advocate any violence, because I know not only is her most devout fans will decry, they're trying to cancel her, trying to wish harm on our savior.
I mean, yeah, cancel her. I don't care about that.
Sure.
But, and we'll allow that one.
Okay, I get one.
You know, I'm not advocating violence against her. Don't do that. That doesn't help anyone. But once she's gone, it'll be less problematic. Like, with... This is a weird example. Well, with Michael Jackson. I like Michael Jackson music. If he was still alive, though, I would not be listening to it.
See, I would have gone with Orson Scott Card.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so Alex, I'll briefly explain, because we got a lot to talk about. So Orson Scott Card created Ender's Game. It's a really good YA sci-fi story about a boy who's caught in the middle of this big intergalactic war, and the big lesson he learns is that we shouldn't judge one another. We should be open and be willing to be able to defend ourselves, but also not be actively seeking out wars.
Yeah.
Is what the message of the story is. However, the creator of Ender's Game is a massive homophobe.
Oh, okay.
And probably also transphobe as well, so you might as well add that too. But he has actively raised money and funds to prevent same-sex marriage for over a decade.
Christ.
Yeah, so it's unfortunately, the first book is really good. First people also, unfortunately, when I was about to get to the second book, then a lot of news about Orson Scott Card came out about how he is trying to stop same-sex marriage. Terrible. So it's I am not touching the second book, and I don't even go near the first book that I bought. But that's the thing. It's that's the sad thing about whenever you do enjoy a story and you find out more about the author and they're actively
actively scummy.
Yeah, and they're actively treat a good portion of their fan base terribly. There were plenty of gay people that read Ender's Game when they were younger, when the book first came out, and then hearing that the creator is actively preventing them from wanting to get married to their partner, it's that's gotta suck. You know? And obviously, the many stories of those in the trans community that grew up loving Harry Potter and identifying with certain characters from Harry Potter, and then hearing that the creator is actively spreading misinformation and using her platform to elevate anti-trans. Yeah.
Let's also not forget the fact that if she's not openly anti-Semitic, she sure uses a lot of anti-Semitic imagery. The whole goblins, the whole bank. Let's just conveniently ignore the fact that there is a 6-pointed star on the floor of the bank. Let's ignore the fact that it perpetuates the stereotype of Jewish people having giant noses and being greedy and good with money. Let's ignore all of those, because it's J.K. Rowling and she's just quirky. Look, she's not cool.
Plus, she really hates fat people. Plus-size people, I should say. She, even her non-Harry Potter stuff, she goes on long tirades of people who have a slightly bigger waist than
That's
she.
True. The majority of villains in her Harry Potter book.
I'm sorry. We have to move on.
Pacific Drive.
Okay.
I don't know anything about this.
Okay, this was a very short. This one was rather short, and it's this feels like a POV game. You don't really see your characters.
You're driving a car.
There's you get out of the car once in a while, but it's it looks like there's obviously some supernatural. It is
in
some
a post-apocalyptic version of the Pacific Northwest. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's I didn't even know it was post-apocalyptic. I just clearly there were some things in the ground following your car in certain parts of the trailer. So to me, it seemed like there was definitely something supernatural or some kind of mystery or some kind of creature thing.
I'm gonna look into that game because that seems interesting.
Yeah, that I thought was very interesting. Unlike this next point, which is PlayStation Stars.
So PlayStation Stars is a loyalty program that is going to be starting to roll out.
Yeah, you didn't see the again. I know you didn't see the trailer.
I didn't watch nothing, guys.
Okay. Now they keep saying the word collectibles in this part of the state of play.
Digital.
Yes. So this thing, as I said, I saw 4 different streams of this, of different reactions, and the thing is, every single person was like, "This is code for NFTs. You're saying the word collectibles, but you really mean NFTs, don't you?" Or even if it's not NFTs, unfortunately, we have all been so scarred by the whole NFT crypto scam BS that, like, even when a company's just mentioning, here's some nice little collectibles you can get on your console, on your PC, it's like, you think we're dumb, but we're not. We know what that means. You ain't gonna scam us. You ain't gonna get us. You know, and that's the unfortunate thing is whether or not they really mean to try and put something, anything NFT or anything digital related. We're gonna immediately think, no, you're not gonna get us into this. You are not gonna scam us.
Sin Duality. This is a Bandai Namco game, a third-person shooter featuring mechs in an art style akin to Nier Automata, but more colorful.
Yeah, I'd say like.
Is this the furry mech thing you were talking about?
No. I didn't see the name for the one we were talking about briefly. We'll get to that later. We'll get to it in a minute. But yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a cat I'm putting on the screen.
Okay, Sin Duality I think looks fine. Like I definitely I personally miss a lot of mech or robot games they used to have a lot in the early 2000s and 90s. And I first thought this was it. I thought this was just a game about a robot, like going on missions or going through battling enemies, and there's like a little either a girl following the robot or an AI look like a girl that's following the robot. But at the end of the trailer they showed, oh no, there's a guy piloting that robot.
No.
And I don't think that's automatically a turn off, but I was kind of hoping it was just like a big round robot with a gun that's like shooting and fighting enemies, and this little AI girl was following him. But it's like, no, there's a guy piloting the robot, and they're probably gonna have it that the guy falls in love with the AI girl and everything. So it's like, okay, you know.
The AI girl's like, oh, sorry, I'm already programmed to have a girlfriend. And there's your LGBT representation. We've got our token gay character.
Yeah. If not, they'll say the AI is bisexual. You know, So, the next game, Project E, or it's called Stellar Blade. It was called originally Project E, but I think they
it's been renamed as Stellar Blade coming next year. Its
gameplay is very similar to Bayonetta. Okay. Like that's been mentioned a lot. It's like, is this basically like Korea's version of Bayonetta in a way? I don't want to say it's entirely out there. It's definitely very much a cyberpunk-esque feel, a some near post-apocalyptic future of like various like half human, half machine people and everything. Your two main characters are Eve and Adam.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to Zion.
That's so creative.
I'm about to say.
Zion? Oh,
yes, I was about to say, it's like, okay, visually the stuff looks good, but it's like, wow, like, this world is completely absent of any subtlety, isn't it?
Oh no, look out for that enemy. It's called an apple.
And, also, the thing that people were talking about this game was the jiggle physics.
What?
I am not even kidding. Like how certain female characters move and how certain female characters shoot the guns and everything. There is some jiggle. I wish I was kidding too. But overall, it still looks pretty good. And not for that reason.
Wow. You're right, there is like no subtlety here.
Yeah. I finally got him to watch something.
Okay, no, don't say it like that. I mean, of course there's jiggle physics. How else are they supposed to sell the game? No, I'm not gonna keep watching for it.
Okay.
So
the last thing, even though it wasn't the last thing in the Let's See It Play, but we're covering this now.
It's out of order.
Yeah, because again, it ended with God of War stuff, is how it ended. But now we're getting to...
I'm sorry, this meme. Can Xbox get any good exclusive? I feel bad now.
That's what I was saying in the Toby Game Show when they got to Xbox stuff. I'm like, there is nothing here that is exclusively Xbox. It's all stuff that was from PlayStation.
Let's see. So, Team Ninja
Yes.
has announced an open-world samurai game called Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah, and it does look really good.
PS5 exclusive, 2024. It does look really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this when it comes out, probably.
Like,
Xander would love to play it.
Look, I'm still behind on Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima. They're not made by Team Ninja, but they're other really good
samurai
stuff. Yeah, and also Neo. That's one that Team Ninja did do. I'm not sure if Neo is a prequel to Ninja Gaiden or is somehow connected to the Ninja Gaiden universe. Somebody might tell me yes or no, but I remember seeing a trailer for it. It's like, wow, this looks really good. Would have liked if they'd do a Ninja Gaiden game again.
Sorry, I can't.
Sorry.
So we're looking it up. Let's see, it started development on PS3.
We're just looking at Neo facts.
2016 was when it was finally released. Let's see, Neo and Ninja Gaiden. I know that's not how you spell Ninja Gaiden. They're set in the same universe. There you go. Alright.
Okay.
Nintendo.
We're finally moving to
Woo!
Nintendo Direct. Okay.
So,
And yes, I know, there was a lot of farming. There was farming beyond
Nintendo
the eye
Direct
can see.
farming.
Everything the light touches is farming simulators.
They finally announced what the name to Breath of the Wild 2 is, and
Yes.
it's called The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Farm of the Kingdom.
Yeah, and they wait till the very end to showcase.
Farm of the Kingdom. No, it's actually
Oh,
called
this-
Tears
it does-
of the Kingdom.
It does look good. Like,
Oh, yeah, it looks
I think
great.
definitely like they're definitely gonna have like there are like actual buildings and dungeons in the sky,
God, I
and
hope
so
so.
and some and some ways you can drop down. That's what it seemed like in the trailer. It's
I
like,
miss like legitimate dungeons from Zelda. Excuse me. Having the shrines is okay, but adding dungeons would be nice. The Divine Beasts were just, in terms of dungeons, they're very underwhelming, and frankly, a lot of the time they were frustrating.
I can only say that that as someone who has played plenty of Legends of, I mean, I'm sure you played way more than I have, but for me, it's like Breath of the Wild is trying a lot of different things. It's sort of like how Pokemon Sun and Moon dropped the whole gym battle things and went its own like totems and trials.
And then they went back to the old thing, like the next game, and it sucks.
Yeah. But at least they tried something new in Sun and Moon, and then people complained.
And the thing is, they mostly just complained about the, Sorry, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
About the cutscenes.
Yeah.
God. And I'm not even looking at Breath of the Wild.
Okay. So, you ready to talk about Pikmin? Or do you want to
Pikmin 4 is
Okay.
coming.
Okay, so...
And it's not the
Okay, so, here's the thing, though. Yes, getting a confirmation of Pikmin 4 is good, but as someone who did sit through this whole Nintendo Direct thing, so when they get to that part, it was first Shigeru Miyamoto coming out to say, here to talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie. We said it'd be released in December of this year, but we had to push it to spring of next year. and then he talked about the mobile Pikmin game.
Yeah, that was
Pikmin Blue.
weird.
He talked about that for a good long while, and everyone, again, on 4 different streams, the chats were all like, that mobile game sucked, it was awful, we hated it.
It wasn't even out for a year before everyone hated it.
Yeah, but he kept talking about it. He kept saying, like, oh, here's me going over to Osaka, here's me going over to or I think it was Okinawa, sorry. Here's me going over to Tokyo and everything, and it's just like, buddy, like, I'm glad you love Pikmin, as much as a lot of people love Pikmin, but it's like, this is the thing people don't want to talk about. We'd rather pretend this didn't happen.
We'd rather have Hey Pikmin than this.
Yeah. I know, right? He could have said, "Here's a remaster of Hey Pikmin," and I think
God, no, we wouldn't have wanted that.
Well,
still.
that would have gotten a much better reaction than Pikmin Blue.
However,
yeah.
Pikmin 4.
Yes,
And
okay. It's a good thing.
2023.
I'm glad he ended on that note because people were getting mad.
I feel like he was literally just trolling us.
You know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he did. So.
Fire Emblem Engage.
Okay.
The next mainline Fire Emblem game. Was there anything you wanted to say
well,
about Pikmin?
No.
Are we still in Breath of the Wild with you?
No. I think we covered enough because again, the Tears of the Kingdom, that was very brief. It just seemed like there's going to be some areas you do that you're in the sky and you can drop down and go to the mainland Hyrule. That's what they showcased.
It'll be interesting to see if you still have the Master Sword or how they're going to handle that. If
I've got a okay.
I
got a
hope
feeling
he's just not getting amnesia.
Well, here's the thing. I have a feeling they're going to do what they do in Metroid games and be like, something happens and like, oh no, Link, you lost all your weapons and equipment. You gotta start from square one.
There are ways they could do that because you've seen that he only has the one arm, the one real arm, in the trailers. So there's very easily a whole, he's lost these weapons.
And other game franchises have done that besides Metroid, but that's the one it's known for. It's like, there's so many games where she is super OP and has all these cool weapons and equipment, and then they have to make a story reason was so like, okay, you can't be that powerful, otherwise you breeze through the game. Oh no, something happened. She was attacked by one of the things. Oh no, she's back to square one. She only just has her own basic blaster. Oh no. Gotta get all that stuff again. But okay, now we're gonna talk about Fire Emblem Engage. Okay.
Not for a long time though, because it's just. So, Fire Emblem is set 1,000 years after 4 kingdoms sealed away the great evil known as the Fell Dragon.
Yes.
In Engage, players will become a divine dragon called Alir, who must work to collect emblem rings to bring peace back to the continent of Ilios. Along your journey, you will even be able to have other previous Fire Emblem characters join your party, like Math and Kelia.
It's Marth.
Kelika.
The trailer they showcased Marth a lot of like Marth's spirit, like fighting alongside the new main character for this.
So January 20th, 2023.
Yes.
This next one was a bit of a surprise to me. I honestly, I shouldn't have been expecting this. Should not have been expecting what I was expecting, which was the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker rumors that happen every single year. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe was not expected. It was not on my list of things to be expected. It will be coming to the Switch in 2023.
And
4-player multiplayer and minigames.
And I'll say this was the original Return to Dreamland I didn't play when it first came out.
That's a good one.
So, but I will say, like, people have shown me screenshots of both the original and this new remake, and I gotta say, like, the King DDD in this one looks a lot better than the DDD in the original. If I'm gonna be completely honest.
You said he looks a lot better.
Oh, see, that looks better than the original Return to Dreamland King DDD. Because that one, his eyes were real big, and like he looked. I guess they were trying to make him just a little the same frame as the other. Kirby characters like Meta Knight and Bandanity. But yeah, overall, it looks really fun. Like
It was a fun game.
Yeah. Somebody did. I remember one streamer did point out like there's been at least like 3 or 4 Kirby games that came out this year and last year, Yeah, you see, we're seeing the image right now. Like, the original Wii version and the Nintendo Switch version. I'm sorry, the Switch version's DVD looks way better than the Wii version.
Yeah, he does, but I gotta say, I'm really not digging the outlines on the Switch version. It looks like somebody just took the stroke tool in Photoshop and added it.
It's fine to me. Well, there is definitely like
look at this, like literally, Kirby.
Kirby, he's the one.
Let me go to Kirby Wiki. Anyway, while I'm doing this,
Okay.
let's talk about Octopath Traveler 2.
Yes.
I like the first one. The first one's pretty fun.
I do hope to play the original, and from what I saw in this trailer, I did really like. But this is where, like, I keep saying I've seen 4 different streams of this display.
What do you mean by that? I've been meaning to ask. Like, you watched them at the same time?
Well, not at the same time, but on YouTube they do. There is ways to see.
You're like shouting now. You're like mad at me.
Okay, let me explain. Okay, there are 4 different channels in which they do have videos of like their reactions to what happened in both the Nintendo Direct, Sony State of Play, and I think 2 showcase like their thoughts on the Tokyo Game Show. Mainly because like they at least like can somewhat understand Japanese or what have you, or at least they can follow along pretty easily. But when I got to Octopath Traveler 2, I'd say at least 2 streamers I saw that were overall cool with it. I think one was like, it looks fine, but like there's been a lot of games with the pixel art main characters in a 3D background kind of aesthetic. That's happened a lot in the recent years that like, you know, unfortunately it's not as appealing as it used to be. And
it has been overused.
And there's one streamer that just straight up was not interested, just did not care. And you know, it's like, like I said, I feel like I had to at least see different reactions to these different these different showcases just so I can gauge the overall reaction. And granted, like just seeing 4 different people's reactions is not enough to gauge the overall thing, but at least gave me an idea of like, okay, where is certain people's expectations and interests lie in other games. And it's like, you know,
this is another one where it will be on the Switch, PC, and PS5, but not the Xbox.
Yeah, it's like, look, I know Xbox Game Pass sounded really good, but it's looking like they're not really like grabbing hold of any particular franchise or anything.
They're really not,
yeah.
And it is a shame because the Xbox usually has solid. That there might be a problem in the future. Though,
well, like
Xbox owns Bethesda now, so Elder Scrolls and Fallout might become Xbox exclusives. If they're smart, they won't.
But that's the thing. It's like it's seemingly more and more common. I know at first they said, "Oh no, we'll honor our ideals. We'll make sure Bethesda games are available for other consoles, other places." But yeah, the fact that there has been like not a lot of stuff coming out of Xbox or just for Xbox, I have a strong feeling they're gonna start pressuring Bethesda to make something only for them.
Yeah. So let's go back to Kirby's Return to Dreamland.
I'm wondering what you're doing because you've been messing around with that computer.
All right, so
I'm very curious what's going to happen now.
All right, so this is Kirby from Kirby Return to Dreamland.
Special guest Kirby.
And then this is
finally here.
This is Kirby from Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
I mean,
do you see the difference?
Well, okay, there's an outline, but I don't think it's.
See, it just looks like somebody added a stroke because I did. This is my edit.
That you did. That's what you.
That's what it looks like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna get the game because I liked Return to Dreamland, and it's 4-player. That's perfect for the channel.
Okay, great. Yes.
But I'm just saying, I don't like how it looks like somebody just took the stroke tool and just like. First you draw a circle.
I'm surprised that's the thing you're being salty about. I'm just like, huh.
I'm not really salty about them. I'm not really salty about it. I just think it looks goofy.
Okay, I mean, Look, granted, like you
We
do have.
all
You,
get to
you do,
all get to care about stupid stuff. Okay, Jordan.
okay.
You're not the only one who gets
Okay.
to.
Okay. I know I can't judge because like I probably have like.
But you're right.
Well,
King DDD looks so much better.
yeah. So we can at least say King DDD his model is much better.
I do
than
think the
Wii.
Waddle Dee looks a little cuter in the Wii, though. He just looks a little chunkier.
Well, I don't really because I'm looking at the image and it's like, but Waddle Dee
it's not the
looks a
biggest
little,
difference.
little chunkier in the Switch version, but no, it's like if you saw me back in 2012 or 20 or something, I would have constantly ranted about like how they got so much of the Silent Hill remix so wrong. It's like Konami, what were you thinking? Why do you do this? Why do you treat this franchise like crap?
I don't know why the stroke bothers me so much. It's not a big deal. It just, like, I don't know. I mean, visually, both versions are still great. I still think the Wii version holds up, but the Switch version definitely does look good. Anyway.
Bayonetta 3.
Everyone's favorite mommy.
It's still weird that like I remember when it was a Sega game.
When it
but
was
it's
an
like,
Xbox game.
Well, yeah, but also, well, actually, no. Wait a minute. Was it Xbox? Yeah. Well, sure. Anyway, it was owned by Sega, and then
Yeah.
it was a whole thing of like Sega just. They hired a bunch of people that were formerly Capcom over to their team, and they did make some really interesting games for Sega. And then eventually, but like some issues with them, and they just stopped working with Platinum Games in general, and just Nintendo just swapped it and took the rights to Bayonetta, and that's where it is now.
Well, yeah, I guess it's not just. It wasn't just Xbox. It was Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Sega had canceled the project throughout the sequel, so Nintendo swooped in. And it's still the same, same style game.
Oh yeah. Well, it's Platinum. Like, okay, they'll change things every once in a while, but like, when something works, they'll.
Well, I mean, it's still like a more mature title.
Oh yeah.
Even though Nintendo's
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
And they just showed a new trailer. And it's the
Yeah.
same old, Bayonetta being cool, being.
And they showed some
butt
characters like Luca, Jean, and then other new. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the other new character. I mean, I like her overall look, but still, it's just like it's like they hadn't shown anything like superly different just to showcase some of the new characters. But that said, the one coming up right now, like Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm. Theater Rhythm. Like, again, also some mixed reactions towards that. Like,
It's an interesting game series because it's like a rhythm game, but
all music we cannot show because of copyright strikes.
well, no, because it would be showing gameplay, so it'd be a little different. It's a fun novelty, but it's not worth a full price.
I think I've heard most complaints from like the chibi designs of like the little characters on the sidelines.
It's always been like that though for theater.
Well, it's like I remember that art style being in one of the Kingdom Hearts spin-off games, or I think it was one of the mobile games. I think I can't. I have a hard
And then
time.
like a lot of the Pocket Edition versions of games, like the Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, which is what is on the Switch. It's got that chibi art style.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm has always had the chibi art style.
Yeah.
It's just not really a game that's worth $70,
70.
Or I guess 60 because it's on the Switch.
I was about to say, like, oh no.
Well, a lot of new games are 70 for other consoles.
Yeah, but if they're even thinking about charging that for this game, absolutely not. They're
crazy.
Square Enix, no. Okay, whatever you're on, stop. Okay, you're already signing some crazy stuff with crypto and NFTs. don't think you can make Theater Rhythm a $60 game franchise. That ain't happening.
Alright, so let's move on to the N64.
Yes.
Let's see. We've got some exciting titles.
So I know
for
the
this.
order is completely off.
Yeah.
But like, I did want to really mention Crisis Core, Final Fantasy.
Sure, we'll have down there.
It was a spin-off game that came out many years ago.
I remember.
I actually remember when the original came out. It was not that well received when it first came out, but like, I've seen a lot of. From what I gather, there's a lot more steps to make this a proper remaster and to fix certain combat.
I think it's actually a remake.
Yeah, actually no.
It's gotta be a remake. It can't just be like a straight up.
Well, no, yeah, it's obviously because like it's going with
it is a remaster.
It's going with like a PSP game.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be a full-on remake, so you can't do the same control scheme as from a PSP game. But yeah, similar game engine as like the Final Fantasy VII remakes.
Which I can play. Woo.
Yeah. So. By all means, like this is a but obviously there's some remakes I'm looking forward to, but yeah, like I'm down for them remaking a game that was either mixed or not really good when it first came out. You know, those I think need remakes, honestly.
So let's talk about Nintendo Switch Online and the
Yes.
N64 games.
Yes.
So we've got Pilot Wings 64, Mario Party, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3. Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Stadium 2, 1080 Snowboarding, and Excite Bike 64, and that's all.
But wait, there
That's
is
all.
more.
Oh, you're right. Wave 3 of Mario Kart 8. Now, of course, GoldenEye 007.
The movie tie-in game that is still being talked about today as one of the best shooters of all time.
And of course, it's going to have online play, which the other multiplayer N64 games have. So
you know, an interesting fact about James Bond games is that the ones who owns the rights to James Bond, Eon Productions or Eon Entertainment, they have a weird rule to where, like, they don't want to, if they're making games or other licensed stuff of James Bond, they want to have the current James Bond be the face of those things, because like the story of of GoldenEye was that the Rare Entertainment, like, they developed the game and they did implement a way to play as Sean Connery, as Roger Moore, as Timothy Dalton, because a lot of the people behind them love James Bond and all the different actors who play James Bond, and they wanted to include other Bonds besides freaking Pierce Brosnan. But Eon Productions told them, no, cut that out, just do Pierce Brosnan, he's the guy, he is our James Bond right now, we want to focus on him. And that's also the reason why that 007 Legends game came out around the time that Skyfall did. And even though the game is focusing on events that happened in the past James Bond movies, they all have just Daniel Craig. It's only Daniel Craig, just his Bond, his version of Bond, in those versions of those scenes in the movies, and it's just so weird. But it's like that's the mandate that Eon set for any developer. Like, they only care about the James Bond they're currently doing right now, and don't really want to do anything for past Bonds, except for From Russia with Love. That was like the only example of a video game based on a past James Bond, but that was because like Pierce Brosnan had to step down from the role, and they had just cast Daniel Craig. And during that period, they were okay with there being a Sean Connery-based Bond game. So there's your little 00 fact of the day.
So anyway, that is interesting, actually.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that's why they're doing this, why they're doing GoldenEye re-release now, because they haven't cast a new Bond yet. So
Wave 3 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course.
yeah.
It will include, tracks from Mario Kart Tour. Who could have guessed? And, of course, Mario Kart DS.
Yeah.
The last one involved one from Mario Kart DS, which was Waluigi's Pinball, which was actually started development as Luigi's Pinball, and then I think it was Donkey Kong's Pinball at one point, and then they were like, oh, let's make it Waluigi's Pinball.
Because they ain't doing anything with it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So this will be coming out this holiday. Woo! So
Yeah, it makes sense with the Merry Mountain.
yeah, Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour and
Yeah.
Peach Gardens from Mario Kart DS.
Yeah.
Are two of that have been announced.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch Sports will get its free golf mode also this holiday. So it was supposed to come recently, but it was delayed to the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
It will bring its 21 holes from the Wii Sports series, and you'll get to play with friends locally or with up to 8 players online in survival golf.
Yeah, and it was a very short segment, but like they did showcase like 3 players trying to like hit their ball at the hole at the same time.
Oh my
so
God,
I
that's
thought that
great.
was kind of funny.
That actually would be pretty fun.
I mean, there's no way they'll ever let you do that in real golf, but like.
I would totally play golf if like it was a free for all. So Mario Strikers Battle League, which
I just bought. Yeah, I finally got it, so you will be seeing that soon on the channel.
Yes.
Can't say when, but yeah, we will be playing Mario Strikers soon on the channel, and
at the very least we'll be trying it out. I haven't
Yeah.
played a Mario Strikers game in forever.
oh man, I love
The last
that.
one I played was on the GameCube.
Yeah, that one was so good.
I played
I
it on
can't-
a Wavebird.
Was there any other Strikers besides that one though?
Pretty sure there was one on the Wii.
Maybe, or maybe or was that a re-release?
It might have been a pre-release. I don't remember.
All right, but anyway, they did add 2 new characters for free.
This
These
is
are
the third one, and so
okay.
sorry.
Okay, so
Super Mario Strikers was on the
Yeah.
GameCube.
Yeah.
Super Mario Strikers Charged was a new version,
okay,
or new game that was released on the Wii.
okay, all right.
So anyway,
I
continue.
must have missed that. So anyway, yes, they have 2 new free characters added to the game. You don't have to buy them; they're just going to be added updates, which is going to be Pauline. She's everybody's favorite mayor. You know, certainly better than some other mayors we mentioned. No, not politics in the game.
I don't know
But
what you're talking about.
but anyway, and you know, our also character I'm looking forward to playing as Diddy Kong. I mean, I'm going to first play as Donkey Kong, but it's cool that Diddy Kong is a playable character too, or going to be.
It'll also add gear, a new stadium,
Mhm.
striker ranking,
Mhm.
more customization options, and more.
Mhm.
What mayor are we talking about?
I'm just honest.
Please!
I'm honest. I was
You were just goofing?
yeah. I was just.
I was like, you can't be talking about DeSantis. He's the governor
not for our state.
of Florida.
Yeah, but it's like I was just being a goof. I was being a goof boss.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Wave of 2 of DLC adds a new mechanical character called Eno.
Okay, and as I said, new to the Xenoblade Chronicles thing. I have played the first one.
have not.
I'll one day have a chance to play 2 and 3. They all look pretty good. I do gotta say though, when I did get to that part of the trailer, the new character, they had a narrator saying explain the entire thing about the character, but you could briefly hear Eno's voice in it. It sounds very grating, and I again, whoever was voice acting this character, I have no ill will on you per se. I'm sure this was a job. I'm sure you were playing this. But even though there was a narrator talking through most of the discussion of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the little bit you heard of Eno's voice, oh god, it sounded grating. It was, like, you know, you my name or something.
Okay.
I'm trying not to yell or trying to like.
Stop
I'm not trying to not make people's ears bleed, but like, I am scared how this character's gonna sound when there is no narrator and you just hear her as is.
Anyway,
Alright.
so there is a new Splatfest, the first official post-release Splatfest for Splatoon 3 will ask players to decide if they'd rather bring gear, grub, or fun with them to a deserted island. It'll take place on September 23rd and run until September 25th.
And again, we're not going to bring up politics on here, so like, I'll not say which one I would pick. You know, just we're going to be completely neutral here, all right? And also, a little fun fact of Splatoon 3: it already had like sold like 3 or 4 million copies in Japan.
No
Like,
surprise.
it's already a huge hit. It's already a massive hit. That's all I gotta say about that. And and also I tried getting Splatoon 3 along with Mario Strikers. They were sold out in my area.
Which is weird, but...
Oh, I mean, it's not that crazy, I mean, it's a popular game. It's like,
yeah, I guess.
It's like Nintendo's Call of Duty.
It's just weird that you weren't able to get a copy, but I was able to get a PlayStation 5. That's all I'm saying.
It's a weird world we live in, dude. It's a weird world.
So let's talk about something that sucks. It's one of my favorite series, but the cloud versions of games have not done good. Resident Evil Village Cloud is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
There's already Resident Evil 7 Cloud, although I think that was only in Japan. Now it's coming to the US. Then there's Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 Cloud versions. Woo! Except the Cloud versions play like garbage. Remember Kingdom Hearts?
I think I would have preferred like if Capcom would just make a Resident Evil game primarily for Switch.
Like they did for the 3DS.
Yeah, they could easily do a spin-off or focus on one of the other side characters, whatever, and do their thing, or just make up a whole new story and just have it be a story silly for the Switch. And I think that'd be the better option than trying to make versions that are not going to play as well as they would be on a PS4 or PS5.
Yeah. Anyway, Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life is getting remade as Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life.
All right, and the backstory of Harvest Moon: A Story of Seasons is a wild one, dude. Matt McMuscles on his channel better explain the whole debacle. But yeah, basically, it did start off as Harvest Moon, and it basically it became this whole legal mumbo jumbo of who would own the rights to Harvest Moon, and eventually the creator of Harvest Moon got sick of the whole thing, just left and just made a whole new series called Story of Seasons. And yeah, basically this A Wonderful Life is one of those, but he managed to he has to call it Story of Seasons because the company that owns Harvest Moon is doing its own thing, but they're holding on to the rights of it. It's a long story that we have no time to talk about right now. But I'll show you there's a what happened video about it that I can send you to it later.
Basically, the parent company stopped licensing it to Natsume, and so Natsume was like, "Hey, let's make our own Harvest Moon series," and they maintained the rights to the Harvest Moon name. And then when Marvelous announced that their subsidiary Xseed Games would take over North American distribution, they had to come up with a different name. So they were like, hey, Story of Seasons. And then they were like, hey, we'll just stick with this because why not?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dude, it's a long story that you try to summarize, but
Fae Farm!
Another farm game.
It's an RPG with a mix of magic and, well, farming.
Yeah, I think
it's for up to 4 players. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's this is not the only farm sim with RPG elements. That's the thing.
I thought it said it takes place in Arizona. It's Azoria.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not so much the RPG element because Harvest Moon.
The art style for this game looks like it would have been a licensed Disney game.
Or a 3DS game.
Yeah, that's where I'm like... I mean, of all these farms... I mean, there's so many farm sims that came out this direct. But I think that's the one where I'm like, I don't know about this one.
Harvestella.
Yes.
This is another...
The Square Enix farm simulator.
Yeah. Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse.
Okay, this one I'm really looking forward to because obviously I do love horror games. Fatal Frames, it took me a while to really get into them, but basically, they're you take photos of you go around places, you take photos of the ghosts to keep them from possessing you. But Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is the one game that was not released here in the U.S. I believe it was released in the UK, I think, or no, it was going to be, but then they had to cancel it because again, Koei Tecmo owns Fatal Frame, but Fatal Frame 3 had very underperformed, and they were they need to partner up with Nintendo to help make sure it was released because they do like doing Fatal Frame, and there is a fan base to it, but doesn't make the same money as like Resident Evil did, or or even like other horror franchises. But,
That's why I thought I sounded familiar. It's Spirit Camera as a spinoff, and I've seen that on 3DS.
Yeah, but Fatal Frame, it does have a devout fan base, but like Massive Lunar Eclipse is the fourth Fatal Frame game, but it was never released here until now, and here in the US until now, because of a whole dispute between Koei Tecmo and Nintendo, and like neither one really wanting to like pay to fix glitches, because there were some big glitches. Like you can't even complete the list of ghosts to get the important items. Like
Jesus.
that level of incomplete.
All right, next we've got a lot. To
We
talk
do have a lot to talk about. Okay, It Takes Two will be
It's coming onto
Yeah,
the
just
Nintendo
Switch, yeah.
Switch.
Yeah.
Xander and I are actually going to be playing it.
Oh yeah, that's a real good one.
Sifu will bring Kung Fu to the Switch. It's an action brawler.
It's a real hard game, dude, and it's like every time your character loses a fight, it goes forward a year.
You will get older.
Yes,
That's cool.
That is an interesting feature to it, and like I know some people have mentioned that there's like a PC version of Sifu, and there's been so many mods of like Neo or like John Wick as like the main character and everything. So but still, I think it is a good thing to have it be available for other consoles. And,
so we've got Front Mission 1 and 2
that
being
one
remade.
I really want that one.
And Front Mission 3 is still being...
It's an RPG, but
It's
mechs. That's all you need.
There's Atella Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key, which is coming to the Switch on February 24th, 2023.
This is an RPG series I don't know a whole lot about, and the thing is, I'm curious, like the art, because like the art style is very similar to Genshin Impact, but I have a weird. But I'm curious, like, did this game series came first, and the artist just went on to do Genshin Impact? I've never been 100% sure about that, but yeah. But yeah, it's just like I haven't been able to but like there's plenty of different RPG franchises out there that I haven't been able to get a hold of all of them. But like this was like a big one for Koei Tecmo for a while at least.
2019 and Genshin Impact was 2020.
Yeah.
So anyway. Tales of Symphonia will be remastered, and that was originally a GameCube game.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be cool because I've heard lots of good things about that.
Yeah, there's certainly the Tales series is like, the RPG franchise you've heard about, but like
I've heard it's cheesy but also like fun.
Well, it's like that's been like the only that's been the other big RPG. Well, other than like Dragon Quest and Fire Emblem. There's like the other like big RPG franchise is the Tales series, and that is Symphonia is like the most popular of them. And this one, I'm really looking forward to this next one right here.
Master Detective Archives.
Yes, by the creators of Danganronpa. Okay.
Someone who loves detective games and stories. I'll try it.
Oh well. Here's the thing. I mean, there is certainly some. Obviously it's about murder mysteries, so there's going to be some mature stuff to it. But I always the art style and the music for the Danganronpa games have always been really cool, and again the characters have always been interesting. But you could kind of feel in V3 that they were trying to really like force the whole. Here's a bunch of students. They're trapped in this area, and they're being forced to kill, but not real. But also like they gotta figure out who's the murderer and everything. Like that formula was stretched thin, and I think even the franchise was acknowledging like. There's only so much time we can kind of do this, so I'm sure the creators are like, okay, we can do murder mysteries, but like we'll have different setting and we'll probably be a different world entirely. And but basically, like just looking again, getting a feel of any of the Danganronpa games, and then seeing the trailer for Rain Code, you could definitely feel like the creators of Danganronpa were all in on this game. So I am definitely looking forward to this.
We've got SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. It's coming to the Switch in 2023.
Yep.
Rune
looks
Factory
great.
3 is coming to the Switch. It is a remake of Rune Factory 3, which was originally released on the DS in 2009. There's also a new Rune Factory game in development.
Yes. I think so far there are 6 Rune Factory games. I haven't really played any of them, but like people have said, like Rune Factory 3 is the best of the series, from what I heard.
So, Various Daylife is an immersive RPG that is available. Woo!
Yep.
So it's.
And so far, we didn't see any farming in this one because, it's like Harvestella and Rune Factory. There is a farming mechanic to those games, and I could definitely see some people being like, "Oh, these dang farm simulators! I'm so tired." Yeah. So
Radiant Silvergun is also coming to the Switch. In fact, it's already there.
yeah,
It's a 1998 arcade classic where you
spaceship
take
shooter
down
game.
enemies.
Yeah. I like those. I really like those.
Factorio is a game where you are trying to build a new rocket to get home by using the world's resources.
It's kind of a farm simulator, but not really because you're building factories, and there's a whole mechanic of like there's alien life trying to fight or just destroy your creations, but you gotta create things and destroy. Well, kind of. Well, kind of, but like you're making like like gun towers or laser towers to shoot the alien life and everything.
That's interesting.
I think like just the overall look of it, to me it feels like you're supposed to be the bad guy because all the factories you're creating give off like big black smoke clouds and everything. So to me it looks like you're playing the villain, just invading this world and taking its resources to like.
Oh my god!
I don't know if that's the metaphor for the game, or I think it'd be an interesting twist if that were the case, but I don't know if that's the twist or not. But this next game coming up is a game I did play when it first came out. IB. It's a creepy adventure game that takes place. You're a young girl who gets stuck in an art gallery, and you enter into one of the paintings, and you're in this world where various paintings, art figures come to life, and they attack you. And like this one struggling artist is stuck in the world there too, and everything. It's a really creative, really creepy little indie game that came out many years ago, and I am so happy it's coming back again, and hopefully new people discover it. Because,
I'll give it a try. I've never heard of it.
Oh well, it's okay. I'll say this: if it came around the same time as The Witch's House, which is another indie game, but like The Witch's House is a very dark game where your character dies, gets brutally murdered several times. So Eve was very much light. It was like that, but light, where your character could die, but like they didn't get too graphic. Well, actually, I won't say too. Well, yeah.
There's Oddballers, which is a party game that supports up to 6 players locally and online.
It looks a lot like Game Beasts. Well, not really, but like it has a very similar feel to Game Beasts.
Fitness boxing, Fist of the North Star. We know what fitness boxing is, but isn't this like?
But do you know
JoJo?
But do you know Fist of the North Star though?
Isn't that like JoJo?
I mean, technically speaking, Fist of the North Star came first. But basically, it's sort of like the main character Kenshiro is like like you're basically doing again. It's fitness boxing, but it's like you're playing as Kenshiro. You're learning the different fights, and there's also like missions and everything where you're boxing some of the enemies within the North Star universe and everything. It looks fine, or I'm sure Fist of the North Star are going to just get it anyway. I mean, to me, it's like Fist of the North Star is known for graphic deaths. I mean, the that is very synonymous. that is where it comes from, So the fact that unless the game's gonna let you explode people's bodies with your fists and everything, like it looks pretty tame, all things considered. But that's just me. That's because I love the original anime. So
Just Dance 2023. Speaking of tame stuff, need I say more?
It's Just Dance. Just Dance.
Yeah, it's just Dance.
Yeah.
Endless Dungeon. a procedurally generated roguelite set in space. It'll have you and up to 3 of your friends working together to make it out of a space station that has been overrun by monsters. It seems interesting and something we can all do together.
I don't think it says right here, but I think it is made by Sega or is produced by Sega.
Oh, that's cool.
So again, it's like, I know Sega has burned me so many times, but like I would like for them to find some kind of success with them to have something work right. And I think Elysium does have some potential, even though they didn't cover too much on the Direct.
But yes, that is going to be it. We've covered them all.
We have covered nearly everything.
And that was about an hour and a half of Menu Heroes Digest.
Yes, so if there was some other breaking news story that came out or some kind of trailer,
too bad.
We'll do it next week, okay? Or not, or whatever.
Anyway, until next time, stay cool.
I'm tired.
Hey guys, a quick update because it is 2:54 in the morning and I'm editing this video. So here are some of the highlights from day 3 of the Tokyo Game Show. Samurai Maiden gets a release date, December 1st for PS4, 5, and the Switch, and the Steam release is coming on December 8th globally. Samurai Maiden is a sword-fighting action game that seems to have real-time action gameplay where you slash and cut away at undead enemies during a historical period. So that sounds interesting. And let's see, there's a game called Majesty Mobile RPG that's launching this fall. There is, well, that's pretty much the heavy hitters, except for one unfortunate piece of news, and that is King of Fighters Arena, which is a new mobile and PC fighting game based on the King of Fighters series. That is a blockchain title, meaning it's using cryptocurrency. Jordan is not going to be happy about that.